Hey everyone, this is Yjang. In this episode of the Tangent Podcast, me and Jeff go over the fight between T-Series and PewDiePie, and also what it means for the state and future of YouTube. Also, I've been getting some feedback about some people not liking the dolphin noises, so if you have something that you want to choose instead, or if you just don't want to have any censoring at all, we have a current Twitter poll open for the next day to see what you guys think we should do about that. Anyway, enjoy the show.
I wanted to talk about PewDiePie versus T-Series.
Oh yeah,
I know that's been a ongoing topic for the past few weeks. For you people who don't know,
and for people who
PewDiePie is the most subscribed channel on YouTube. He has like 70 something million subscribers.
No, I think he's at 77 at this point.
Okay, let's go with that. 77 million.
And T-Series is at 75.
PewDiePie, I think he started getting prominence in around 2011, 2012. He used to play, horror video games, and he was known for, screaming in his webcam and things like that. And he attracted a mostly younger audience, and he grew exponentially because he was the first one really of his kind to gain success with that kind of format, with the, let's play of playing video games.
Right.
And his content has changed a lot over time, where now he doesn't even really play games anymore.
I want to say something right here. I didn't like PewDiePie when he first came out, and I thought he was annoying. And up until recently, I still held that opinion because although I like Let's Plays, PewDiePie was like one of the things that people try to copy, but they copied the worst parts about it, in my opinion, how he screamed a lot. And I was like, I don't want to deal with it. Despite that, though, he grew up to be like the top YouTuber, also because the algorithm benefited him for longer content and also, having a lot of shares and subscribers. So it helped him out. And also he was able to get like a mass following of his peers and also the YouTube itself to where he was being offered deals across, many companies, and even was on South Park for a while too. But yeah, he got really big, and he still is. But
yeah, and there's
ever
been
since the apocalypse,
all the political stuff around him and such.
Which we should probably mention.
Yeah, but PewDiePie grew, and he has been the top of YouTube for years now. And I don't know, like you said, I didn't really like him when he first showed up because I thought it was annoying. But in the past year to year and a half, 2 years maybe, he's just changed a lot in his style of content. Like I said, he doesn't really play games anymore. Mostly he just talks about the state of YouTube, what's going on. He talks to his fans. He now has his meme review and things like that. And he's matured a lot, like as a person, and his content has as well.
I don't think so.
He feels like a different person than he did when he first showed up.
Well, I don't think that he's matured too much, but I do think that PewDiePie is more comfortable about being himself and not being
facade,
a persona
or a mask. Episode 3.
Episode 3, yeah. Go watch it. But yeah, I think PewDiePie is more comfortable in being himself because it takes balls to just say like, hey, look, subscribers, I know you came for me for this, but this is not what I want to do right now. And I don't feel comfortable or happy doing it. So I'm going to be doing this. And if you don't want to stay here, that's fine. If you do, awesome. And I had to respect him for that. And ever since then, he's been doing things that, sure, not all the videos I watch, but I do watch them on a more consistent basis than I ever had in my life.
Yeah, definitely. And getting into the whole point of this is YouTube has changed a lot in the past few years. Like, I spend a large amount of time on YouTube because I've basically grown up with it. I remember the old days when you could rate videos with stars and such, like that old school is when I started watching YouTube. And like the website has changed so much from this thing where it was just random people. Like, do you remember when people like Smosh were first getting big? This organic content that just felt like random people making things and getting big off it. The I remember when viral
hits
videos
actually meant something.
Yeah, like you would log into YouTube and you'd see like a viral hit and you'd be like, oh my god, what is this? And you'd watch it and be like, I want to do something like that. Like it inspired you to go out there and do it yourself. Now, if you go to YouTube, they've got, a trending page, which is just like paid sponsorships. And it feels so corporate.
I feel like here's the thing. Like, I know what you feel, because the problem with YouTube, in my opinion, and it can't stop itself from doing this, and I can't blame YouTube too much about this, but it doesn't feel like a platform for people to just, grow out and be themselves. It feels more like a platform for brands to use and get into, which makes sense because we don't even know if YouTube is profitable or not. But on top of that, probably isn't, but it's so influential that it just has to be there. And I remember in the past where I remember the 5-star system, but I wasn't big on YouTube when I was younger. I was more into gaming. But as I was growing around the time like 2010, when that decade first started, that's when I really got into YouTube. And it was a lot more fun and like crazy, because there was many times I watched YouTube poops. Oh, goodness. I remember. That
brings back so many memories.
I remember, just there's
it's
so many viral hits. It's
like a bygone era, yeah.
And I feel like my era of when I remember YouTube at its greatest was like between 2010 and 2014 max. And I think for other people, 2013, yeah, it's safe. 2013 and before, most people would say it's like the best years people enjoyed YouTube. And ever since that, I'm like, I mean, it's not bad, because during that time I met creators that I'm more comfortable with, that I like, but it's been harder to find new stuff, and even the creators that I like are a lot more corporate. And I guess in many ways that's just the state of growing up online, because these things can't just, be there for free. And I know that kind of stuff sucks, but we have to make some kind of business or
like for example, a
sustainability.
A channel I found a few days ago called Biographics. They're a pretty good channel, and I like them a lot because they go into these historical figures and they talk about their lives, what they did, stuff like that. The one I first started watching, it was a video on Theodore Roosevelt, and it was pretty good. But it does feel like way different than old YouTube content, because it's very clean, edited. It feels like professionally done. The like spirit of YouTube to me is those like done with a webcam videos, or like put together in Windows Movie Maker stuff, that feels like YouTube to me.
And I think Emperor Lemon,
Emplemon's great.
Emplemon is an old YouTube pooper, and he's been recently making a lot of YouTube documentaries describing his experience and the current state of YouTube. I think he said it best, where this era of YouTube where you can just go in there and find a random video and just enjoy it, or watch a clip that was kind of like, obviously TV scrape from a episode a couple weeks ago, or just original content of someone doing a cover of a song that they love that's pretty popular. That was the stuff that was really fun to watch and enjoy. And now, while I do enjoy the fact that everything's more refined and polished, because there's a lot of value in that, the problem is that I feel as though that I'm just a consumer.
It doesn't feel human.
Yeah, it feels like I hate the word consumer also. Like, I don't hate it, but in a way I don't like it, because it feels like I'm just being thrown a trough of just like, not filth, but just like a slog of food. Kind of like a pig
your
at a pen.
Entertainment peasant.
Yeah, and it feels like, So when I look at this stuff, it doesn't necessarily make me feel like viscerally disgusted, but in my small mind, I feel like I am the word consumer, and I don't feel like I'm a person called like, a fan or audience. I don't feel like that kind of, interaction that I used to do.
Yeah.
And now it depends on the channel too, and how far they are.
I was about to bring that up. What's it called? There's a small meme channel that I watch, which combines my favorite things, Persona and JoJo. And it does memes of both of them. And it has 13,000 subscribers. It's Filthy Ramen King, shout out. And he makes pretty good videos because it feels like somebody made this themselves. And like, they're not great, honestly. Like, but they're pretty good. The one I sent you is how I found his channel, which is the Persona 5 opening, but copyright free. And it's not put together well, but it's funny to me because of how shitty it basically is.
Right.
What's it called? And that feels like YouTube to me. And to getting back to the point we started with here, T-Series, to be poetic almost, T-Series isn't the herald of the end, it's the harbinger.
It's more like a confirmation.
The end of YouTube was predetermined. Like, the end of this era of original YouTube started years ago. Yeah. I would honestly say the first like YouTube rewind was the first nail in that coffin. T-Series, when it does overtake PewDiePie, because it will, it's a inevitable, like it's
as much as I like. Andrei T-Series made a video about this. He's a Romanian YouTuber, but he made a video about how T-Series will eventually, catch up to beat PewDiePie. But it's not so much a bad thing, because not to say that he's on the side of T-Series, but he wants to remind people, and I think PewDiePie even made a video about this to, calm down guys, that the thing about T-Series is, although it does mean that YouTube's becoming more corporate, it does also mean that YouTube is allowing more people from foreign audiences to join in the platform. Like, people who are going to be starting out just like how other people who first found YouTube started out, which is actually in some ways good. I mean, sure, we won't be able to understand their languages, but that side of the world is, starting its own YouTube golden age, in my opinion.
Yeah, but like, can't they leave YouTube to us? Go make your own YouTube.
Nah,
I want YouTube to stay how it was.
I know what you mean, but I don't want to blame India about this.
And I know, like, everything's got to change eventually. It's just, I wish YouTube would die in a different way than this, because this is possibly one of the worst ways, is that it keeps living on as a shell of its former self.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's not so much dead, but it's more of like your community that you gravitated and came here for is not gone.
The true self.
Yeah, it's not there anymore.
That's a Persona reference you wouldn't get.
I guess I won't until later, but yeah, I mean, that's the problem with the YouTube and with the whole T-Series fight. Sure, you look at, I like to look at PewDiePie, and although that he had his flaws and did some, bad stuff, but I also think that PewDiePie to me was one of the best representatives of what YouTube culture
was. Yeah.
And now that when the day that he finally leaves, it makes me want to reflect, is there a place for people like PewDiePie anymore
in this new internet?
Yeah, because it's not so much YouTube, it's also the web. It's matured.
Is this what it felt like when the West died? The Wild West. It's like, it feels like the end of an era. Like, you're seeing the sunset on this chaotic land where anyone could be anything or do anything they wanted, to the coming civilization. It's like, I want the West back.
Is this like Red Dead Redemption 2?
It's more like Red Dead Redemption 1. Because Red Dead Redemption 2 still has some of the West. 1 is like, yeah, there's like maybe 1 or 2 pockets of it left, but it's more like you're a dying cowboy and there's nothing left for you here.
Shoot, I look at that. I mean, YouTube, the dying cowboy. I hope you guys enjoyed that episode of the 12 Days of Tangent. This has been day 8, and if you want to listen to more about Tangent Podcast, you can follow us on Twitter at dtangentpod. You also can follow us individually at tkrogan, and also you can follow me, Yjang, at YjangWinter. We're on iTunes, Google Play, and almost anywhere you find a podcast. And if you would, just share this show. It means a lot, because having supporters and people like you listen to it make this show really fun, worthwhile. Well, besides just hanging out with each other. I also want to give a big shout out and love to our newest patron, Julio. I'm going to one day make a Bruno Mars mashup with that name. It'll be fun. But anyway, this has been Yjang, and it's been the 12 Days of Tangent, day 8. And I will see you guys tomorrow.